Okay, Fambulem. Seem for the guy a little bit of a technical error. So let me just check me back up quickly. I don't know whether I hear myself. I know I read the intro. So when spare me 1 minute, let me just double check quickly and make sure that would it get sound? Would it get sound? All right. Obviously, there is sound. There is sound. All right. Lovely. So, Fambulem, I want to welcome Una and say massive greetings from the TNN TV podcast. Today, now the third, Monday, the 3rd of March, 2025. Now go the month and the go so, and subsequently we will begin a Christmas carol. The time now beside is exactly 8 p.m. UK time, and I'm very happy to be presenting this very special program. And on this program today, we'll get a special guest, but let me just lay the premise of the show tonight. So, in the history of we country, arguably in the history of we country, there are a few politicians, stroke technocrats, if I may add, who have risen to prominence without coming from a house which is known as a political house, in other words, a political clan, or through a process of patronage, nepotism, and cronyism. But this statement is very much true in the most recent of histories, if you will like. And this could be most likely after we civil conflict. From that point there on, we see few politicians, technocrats, we emerge. We not come off from a political clan, neither a beneficiary of a system known as patronage, nepotism, or cronyism, but rather a one based on patriotism and meritocracy. One such person is a man known as Dr. Kaifla Marah. Just a quick background of Dr. Marah. Of course, birthplace was in Koidu town, where make most Sierra Leoneans them feel say. Now from Konobo, no, he's not. He's from one of the smallest tribes in the country. He's Krankobai tribe. Okay. And this man, in a short period of time, rose to prominence and occupy very senior positions in the country, where gain width and depth for understand we system more apart from what he study. So from the theoretical value to a practical value, he's produced results. And this is all based on a track record. So a brief one again is he served as the State House Chief of Staff. Now, so me understand, say, a boss now political prominence, and State House Chief of Staff is not a small job. Everything we get for go to the president. I mean, now you're not the last man before the president. So you might even likely take a bullet for the president, but that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, I mean a proverbial bullet, by the way. But they talk about projects, policies, developmental aspirations and goals and grants and projects. All of them had to go through him. So he's a man who is very much familiar with all of these. He served as State House Chief of Staff, as I've been saying, and also double as senior economic advisor to the then Sierra Leonean President, Ernest Bai Koroma, a position which he served in from 2010 until he was appointed as Finance Minister in 2013. Educational background, this man holds a bachelor's degree in international relations from FBC, with creme de la creme in terms of university or college. He has a master's degree in public policy from the State University of New York. He also holds a doctorate in political finance from the University of Hull, which makes him a doctor, no medical doctor with a injection of paracetamol. Marah served as a deputy town clerk at the Koidu Town Council, a position where he held during a critical period in civil conflict, up to civil conflict. And most people then go remember what he do during that period, which has left him as a national hero in that particular part of the country, because he was very instrumental in making sure that everything was okay there. Some of these I'm very familiar with. Some of them I've heard the stories from independent people, by the way. Okay, so this is where I'm coming from, and that will be from the Sebenhum City Council. He later served as a budget analyst at the New York State Senate. Okay, so quite an accomplished feat there. He is a public expenditure management advisor, or was rather a public management expenditure advisor at the Commonwealth Secretariat in London. That's before he was appointed as chief of staff. So I'm sorry, I get for turn this thing, like upside down, but you get the gist. So we want to talk, as we now don't see the title, that the Sierra Leonean economy is hemorrhaging, which means that it's bleeding. With something they bleed. We just use this terminology for sure that there is serious bleeding of the economy. The economy, lose consciousness. It's not lost total consciousness yet, but it is in a serious life state. We need rescue, and this has been going on for quite a while. So we look around, and think, well, other than they were fit enough, because remember, we've had a trial period because the current administration has been in power for a number of years now, but still the economy just seems for to go into tatters. It just seems for they on a downward spiral. Inflation is on the high. Household purchasing is becoming difficult for keep up with because of inflation. Goods and services, the way people depend on, for the daily survival are either scarce, and when you see them, it just add for buy, all due to inflation, poor management, inefficiency, ineffectiveness, with all the people and being hired for do the job, it hasn't worked. With me, I get one young man, we go can help with for understand this phenomena where we call Dr. Marah. And this young man is none other but Ibrahim Super Kamara. That's the name that he goes by. So Ibrahim, if you hear me, and when I get for forgive we, Ibrahim, you mute. You need to unmute yourself. This young man is in Sierra Leone in Freetown, and I've been want to read a little profile of him. Unfortunately, we run out of time, but he's a young fellow. I think he do in doctorate now. Is a Unimac, and I stand to be corrected with all of that, which means that he get an undergrad, and they try for pursue further studies. Ibrahim, are you there? And at that time, they try for say, family, when I really need for forgive me guess now the other side of town. You see, I don't even lose them because the poor state of the internet and electricity. And these are all the things that we want to talk about tonight. The program is going to be short. Let me see if I can bring and come again. Ibrahim, do you hear me now?
Yeah, sure. I will get you very clearly.
Yeah, if you can just
Unfortunately, I
briefly,
will by force.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. If you can just briefly introduce
yes.
yourself, who you are,
I will
you
by force
really
and
background
electricity very
quickly.
challenging from the end. Yes. So I for
So,
introduce myself, right?
yes, just a brief introduction of
You get
yourself, if
me?
you will. Yes, live and clear.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So Mina Ibrahim Super Kamara, and then Mina a lecturer, and then and also Mina a bureaucrat. We don't work for over 10 years in the NGO world, and I also don't contest under the APC for represent me constituency where I come out when I was first 2 times in the 2018 and then in 2023. On both occasions, I take second out of seven. And
That's not a
so,
bad record.
yeah. So basically, that is all about me. And, a whole
Okay.
lot there
That
about me, but I just want for narrow and down to that.
Oh
And
yeah, absolutely. I
currently,
mean,
yes,
yeah, go
yes,
go on, please. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and currently, I dey do me PhD. I dey finalize my PhD with University of Makeni on economic sustainability. And back up with two master's degrees, one in economic development, another in project management. So that is all about me.
Lovely. And many thanks for that introduction. So Fambule, when I can see the young man we get is sort of heavy. I mean, he get a package, we back him up, as an academic. So, and we can talk about academic things. Ibrahim, we country in economy, as you will see, the title is hemorrhaging, as I've been do on the introduction, and it's been in this way for quite a while. I mean, we can't just throw blames
Yeah.
here and there, which we'll come to shortly. But I want to ask you, with your background and being on the ground itself, what you take about the economy as at present?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Koroma. I'm glad for way you say we know the true blames. And, that is very good. We as economists not can believe in throwing blames. whether na government we don't pass or government we don't come. And basically, what we need for do now how we for able to solve the problem. Currently, as it is, the economy now they in good footing. And then you will see, say, of course, we are at 98% inflation of inflation done. I mean, impose excruciating hardship on the people and they suffer. Everything virtually don't go up. Well, that is one side. Two, you also get for look at the tax base in the country don't small. And when the tax base in the country is small, businesses then they fold up, it become problem for government for able for maintain their recurrent expenditures. And that situation they find themselves currently. Um, Policy in other way they encourage entrepreneurship. Policy in other way they ensure say um, we develop we own economy in a way. We rely on donor and then like Dambisa Moyo say na dead aid. As we dey now currently, the economy no dey get support from donors. And then they also they are affect you get for understand say we own economy merely na support na feed from international organization, the IMF, World Bank, Commonwealth, and all of these organizations. You know they happen so. So we got a serious problem with the economy. So part of that problem dey now as a result of the fact that the president who we get na sojaman, and then in team where he come with because normally the leader not can be extremely smart, you know, get all the experience. But if you surround yourself with experienced people, you can able for deliver. If you look at an Eskroma in administration, because he's surrounding himself with so many experienced people, the likes of Dr. Kaifla Marah, Dr. Sambora Kamara, Dr. Richard Conte, and so many big names, the Almami Petito Koromas. These are people we support them for their to a larger extent it succeed. Whereas in this government, we are having people where they now the system will actually get the academic qualification, but they not back up with experience. And waiting they affect this country currently, now the fact that experience important past degree. I didn't I get three outstanding degrees. But certain jobs then they I know go apply for them because I not get the experience. If you the problem starts with having people like Professor Morana Kalon to handle the monetary aspects of the economy. This is a man who has been an economist, but purely not practice am. So already he rely on now for read the theory. Either you look at Marxism, you look at the classical economics, neoclassical economics, a try to put them into context and all of these. Not to that not the problem. Not to that not the solution. The solution you need to get a battle-tested economist. We don't serve, we don't see how economies and the transit from lower level to mid level and then to self-sufficient level. You see, so this not the problem we dey face in the country. The tax base in the country don't become so contrasted, and we need for expand the economy so that government will forget resources where it able for fund in development aspiration. Businesses are not dey, businesses then they fold up. So this is not the problem of the economy currently.
Okay. I think fair points made there, and I get a few questions for you. But just before I go there, you talk
Yes,
about experience wise. You know, in order for let you for be able for deliver, you talk about experience. The
yes.
question to you, Mr. Kamara, is in the absence, yeah, of an opportunity for serve at some capacity anyway. How do you think person will acquire experience?
No, but that is the whole situation because I don't tell you say me na lecturer. The problem we we face in this country are the fact that we curriculum a purely designed for be theoretical, and the trajectory where the world they move now more of practice. Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you are if you for example they teach they teach ICT, yeah, ICT, you award a degree to somebody say the person don't get degree in ICT, and then the person come out, not even able for distinguish between the different type of computers we get. You not even know how for install software on a computer, all of this. Then you not do justice to the country. That is why
okay.
they find out say because the corporate world it don't in a situation where in then no say the economy. the educational system, they put out graduate them, but they not get the experience. So what then they
Okay.
do is then they ask you for 5 years experience, 3 years experience, so that you go fit in. Because they not get that luxury for can train you. You see, so
Okay.
that is the problem.
Okay, another
Yeah.
quick question before I run down to my main point where I want to go to will be I hear earlier on you say and I think rightfully so that our economy is donor driven, but at the current point,
Yeah.
your money not really they come in and funds they will be coming. Did I capture that right? And if I did so,
Of course,
I
yes,
just
yes.
they wonder why Fambulengo I'm interested in knowing why you say so, if you can provide some evidence, please.
Yes, yes. Um, um, the situation where we find with self, now situation where slavery don't done. We actually know they under colonialism again, but we get what we call neo-colonialism. And this
Hmm.
neo-colonialism, now one way, it evident, it abstract, but it is, yeah. So they always want forget presidents them we go serve as stooge to them because now then get them funding and then they send them. If you look at the current administration, you will realize say, in some way, the government don't fall apart with these international institutions, the IMF, the World Bank, and all of these.
I
In a
wonder,
way,
I wonder,
they
I
not trust
wonder
the
why,
government.
I wonder why, Mr. Kamara, waiting at the cause of this fallout before you just develop you think. Sorry for barging in. Mr. Kamara, you hearing me?
Yes. So yes,
Yeah, go on, please.
yes, yes, yes. I dey get you. I dey get you. I don't know if you dey get me clearly.
Yeah, they get you now. My question to you, I know you've been to develop you
The internet's
response.
really bad from the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, I know. I know you've been to develop your
Okay.
response. Yeah.
Good.
So
Yeah.
you can go ahead, please. Let me just stop, so we're able to get through the show.
Okay. Why the government, if you find out the government, the way how this 2023 election, now they are the base
Yeah.
being come out. It not come out in a way we please the international community.
Okay.
How we arrive at this conclusion forget His Excellency the President Brigadier Julius Marabio, no please the international community. So in a way, then they don't affect this government because then they see and say they always want stooge them around Africa. We then for able for rule because now then they provide the money. And we in Africa we are lazy. We no leg for work, we leg for big. All of this counts. Now the reason and they make themselves they make and they put I mean stringent measures for the money the way that they give you. I think that they affect this particular government. You know.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So I wonder we do a comparative analysis because I think we don't develop enough, yeah, meat on the bone. No? So I
Yeah.
wonder we do a comparative analysis between yesterday and today. And what I mean by this, yeah, are two significant different periods in terms
Yeah.
of governance or politics.
Yeah.
What do you think about yesterday? Because you mentioned that briefly in
Mm-hmm.
terms of what you been to talk about then. And
Yeah.
before we come to the now, in your view, because you are there, what do you think about yesterday? The politics, the economics, where we really they talk about was it better than today?
Yes, I'll tell you that yesterday been better than now. Why are they
Well,
say that and they are need for based on fact?
absolutely.
Um, you look at we public debt. The public debt in 2022, it don't increase to a point where it unbearable. It don't become. It don't become unbearable because remember say the money they will generate at internal level, we the service then loans then there as well. But we don't take some kind loan where for service then loan then they become very difficult for we. 98% of we GDP in 2022 now we public debt. I don't want bother you on econometrics. That is one. Two, inflation become inflation. Inflation don't become rampant. Yeah. As at trade under an escoroma they may around 5%. Mind you, there is a technicality in inflation.
Mm-hmm.
If inflation in a way a good and deflation in a way a bad. But you get for understand say we always want I mean let inflation and deflation they at the middle, let they play at the middle. If you go for if you go for inflation, too much inflation, you dey what? You dey discourage consumers. If you go for deflation, too much of deflation, you also dey discourage producers. So currently the point where we dey, inflation don become unbearable. So it dey discourage consumers. That na the situation
Mm-hmm.
wey we dey. Then we dey around 5%, at least e not too low. It dey encourage production and e also not too high for discourage consumers. So you get to understand the economics wey play around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at, for example, take political commodities wey na like fuel. The last government bin dey subsidize. Why? Because dem bin dey get excess liquidities wey dem dey use for fund development aspiration and then their recurrent expenditures. So dem subsidize. Now, as part of government arrangement for them, them neo colonialist organization like IMF and World Bank, wey na good and bad Samaritan of development. Na so me dey call them always. Then
Yeah.
say we not for subsidize, and that is coming from the neoclassical approach. Why the neoclassical approach? They look at that perspective. They say development not dey before, not dey go on if government put on na the private sector. Then just need for create the enabling environment and let everybody compete. But then, because you know the kind people the way you get, if you not subsidize, it will lead to excruciating hardship where you people then go suffer. But when these governments come, because the West now then put on pawi, then say for pull am, so it pull am. And when you pull am, you see how it take the fuel from 6 Leone to almost 30 Leons at some point. So then they lead to so many hardship within the country. Take for example another political commodity we arrest. Now we get the land. We get the land. If you watch the medium-term national development plan, then focus now that we for begin feed we self. You get the 5 big changes. We one of them, the pillar na for feed we self. The medium-term national development plan in within the era of 2018 and 2023, they focus on human capital development, then crowd free education, crowd this and crowd down there. But again, it not solve the problem when at the bread and butter problem. So now they don't realize that, then come with another version of the medium-term national development plan, and so we for feed we self. Fine, fair enough. We for feed we self. Now the situation they we
But
dey now.
I'm live now.
We in a situation we are in the land day, but we know they use them for feed we self. Rice now import we dey import them, and when we import them, you dey use dollar for access and for counter. So it don't become so expensive that we take them from 200 to now around 800 or 900,000, depending on the quality we want. If you want the one with quality, they get them around 1,000. So all of these put together, I will tell you, say the one that way they are the hem of affairs currently, these are Sierra Leoneans we get education but not get experience, and that is the problem we are having. You can have
Good.
a BA degree, a master's degree, and a PhD, but if you not back up with experience, you are not going anywhere.
All right. Noted, and many thanks, yeah, for that brilliant thesis. Really appreciate that. So, now the two-part story now you make so between the yesterday and today, the then and the now, which I really do appreciate.
Yeah.
So, we did talk about a specific period now in which, to you, there was relative success in terms of the economy, and there was a brains behind that, which happens to be a young man called Dr. Kaifla Marah, who was at the helm of both the monetary and the fiscal side of things in the country. And during that period,
Sure.
there are a lot of people, if you want to say the truth, will say, yes, that period, it being, yeah, glorious in some sense, because again, the country was noted for being the fastest growing the economy, fastest growing in the region. Now, tell me about Dr. Kaifla Marah in policies then we be initiated at the time we been happening for look so successful until the outbreak of Ebola, where we will come to. But just briefly about Dr. Kaifala Marah and his
Yes. Oh,
successive policies there, please.
thank you very much. So now, with the, gradually they move from the professional angle, they come to politics. Um, I know the angle we did. Now,
Yeah.
when Dr. Marah, we and Eskroma go recruit him and bring him, he served first as the first chief of staff, and then he helped under the agenda for change. That was in 2010. He helped in a huge way for able for ensure say he helped an Eskroma for controlling government, and then score a whole lot. And then you look at the healthcare facility and then some aspects of infrastructure and all of that within that era between 2007 and 2012. Yeah, he even introduced uh, the PPP unit now state house so that we go move with diplomatic policy, diplomatic policy from that traditional one to economic diplomacy. Why than they important? Now because if you dey get embassies around and then they feed from the budget and then they bring in investors, they hamper the progress of the organization, the country in a way. So in wisdom, it bring all of that together. So it serve and it ensures say bring checks and balances in a way that government sign contract with head of parastatals, ministries, departments, and agencies. Yeah, that is one success story under the agenda for change where he work. Then turn in the in have been chief of staff, and you get Keru, who was minister of finance, and then later you have Hemorrhaging-Can, and then as now so the time come. So after that, in 2012, immediately after the election, Anes Kuruma bring her in now fully as minister of finance. And I will say under Anes Kuruma's regime, he was the longest serving minister of finance from Keru to Momodu Kagbo. In the longest serving minister of finance. So when it came to Ministry of Finance, the first policy was to alter the agenda for prosperity. Now, how governments they develop their policies then? Now merely as a result of waiting they happen at the international stage. In 2015, of course, we get the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and then Aneskroma in 2012 starts a program for Agenda for Prosperity. So Dr. Marah tailor a program towards that arrangement. If you find out, if you look at the Agenda for Prosperity and then you watch at the Sustainable Development Goals, the Agenda for Prosperity in priority areas, then they're all fitting at the Agenda for Prosperity. Yeah? So it altered the Agenda for Prosperity. That is one huge success. And the Agenda for Prosperity was designed to ensure so we give back to Sierra Leone in a way that we bring the local content policy for where we get a system in governance wherein if we buy, let we buy to we save so that the money go revolve within the economy and prosperity go can naturally. That is his work. Now, you look at the time, there was government in the borrow for the everything. But government in turn been get money. Now banks them, commercial banks, small money them, small money them. Them money they are we put them together now huge money. So governments, the irony is now we owe money, we keep on as commercial banks, but we go lend them back, they will pay with interest. So we under in leadership, he say no, this not for happen. So we know they act smart. Now we owe money, they keep them economy, them small bank here. Now we bring what to call the treasury single account, where we will get one pot. All ministries, departments, and agencies all put money then together. Then from that account, now we able for feeding for do with development aspiration without borrowing from them. That was something that was faced with, stiff resistance from in colleagues them, but it succeeded to some point. It helped them for able for generate a whole lot of cash. Where then see say the money don't boku. Now they turn out they then do increment in salaries because mind you, it was agenda for prosperity, meaning people learn for prosper. With people learn for prosper. So that's being helped. Then from 150 where they pay civil servants them, soldier man them, and then police, teachers, increased until 450 at the time, which was equivalent to $100. That was very huge and massive. because of the prudent measures where it take. Yeah. Now, aside that one day, you also get for look on the front of um, um, infrastructure, right? Infrastructure now one area back way been very much challenging. Take for example places like Koinadugu district, Usa in Komot. Tano been done ever done that one day. So what he did was say, I got me your machine there. What they do first? Let make the grade the road. He did that, and then new government for say, give 5 kilometer road to all district headquarter towns. When he did that, in everybody, Kavala able forget, McKinney gets all the district headquarter towns there, everybody gets staff. So that is how you manage, I mean, the economy. So with all of
Okay.
this, where Dr. Marah do, it tells you he is a seasoned administrator, somebody who fit for purpose, somebody who able for pull we and this problem we will get. Mind you, where they go to doctor now the sickness where you get, now you dey go with. So if you get it out, you dey go to dentist. Salon problem currently, now two things. The politics is one. Because more than ever before, salon don't become polarized. You might not know this because you guys are out there and we wait now we know. Yeah. Me personally, now one person way, me people them, they all not from the north. But I go grow up partly in a Minde line. I they talk Minde, but we not to Minde. You understand? I don't know this thing where they call regionalism. But as a result of this, I mean, bad politics in the country, we have this as a problem. And Dr. Mara is a solution to that problem. Two, you look at the aspect of the economy. Now that you and I do agree, say the economy they in bad shape, now car power ship where they give you light. Now it don't shut down, so because government gave pay the over $900 million. They're not able to pay them, so they don't shut down their operation. Yeah, are they under dark now? They talk to you. You see, so all of these they tell you, so we are in a bad shape. We need somebody we fit for purpose. We will come for and this is not about tribal thing. This is bigger than tribe. This is
Okay.
bigger than tribe. You
All
see,
right,
so I want to
Mr.
stop the floor. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Kamara, well said. At least you've outlined some policies which were very
Yeah.
successful under the erstwhile administration of the All People's Congress, and with Dr. Marah been then at the helm of the economic mantle. Okay, such as the sustainable development goal, the SDG, and the Treasury single account, and the minimum wage, if you like,
Minimum
because
wage.
that's
Yeah,
when,
that is
yeah.
it. That is
I mean, he's also credited for bringing back payment for chiefs, yeah,
that's it.
and
That's it.
etc. So
All of
there are
that.
many more things
There are
that can
many
be
more.
outlined.
Exactly.
And by the
Yes.
way, he's a gentleman that I do know and know some of these policies that you are outlining. So I mean, I can subscribe to some of them as being very factual, and it's proven anyway because the records are there. But my question to you, Ibrahim, will be: what about them one day we go say? When the APC came into power, there were structures in place, infrastructure that had been created. You know, in other words, there was a blueprint and there was plenty of money to go around for initiate them and process there. So Dr. Marah did not do anything new. It was already there. And transition, I mean, it take place from war or conflict moment to a post-conflict moment. So structures, infrastructures, blueprints, and the cash being available. So Dr. Marah had a smooth running. What would you say to people who would say such?
No, that was not this. Not not the case. The case here is, if they say so, they completely deceitful in a way. Yes, an Eskoroma take over um from Pakaba at a point when the public debt, for example, been there at its BRS minimum. Yeah, when income because of the so many development programs that we want for rollout, the Wilkinson Road, the ending, I mean, the ending of the Bunguna Phase One project, and all of these way it do, it be able in a way for, I mean, go loan again. So we can get loan. This loan we don't book sooner from yonder it starts. Yeah. Now, I know say politics can play in this because Sierra Leoneans we don't like the truth. That is our nature. We not like for say the fact. We want for bring politics in everything. Facts remain is there are things we not been there in existence. Things like treasury single account. A novelty. It was not in existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now then policies there with the top. Things like the minimum wage. Teach government in government out. Always on the think for give them civil servant they are 150 and pitch and for let them go away. Yeah. Now in your own wisdom, it bring all of that into light. You know, look at chiefs, look at any police and all of this. Now in wisdom for ensure say then people are said being get stipend for upkeep their life. You know, look at the amount of investment we come during in time. Now, as a result of the policy that were introduced as chief of staff, a developer to call the PPP unit. This na PPP na unit where na economic diplomacy unit where they go out and then bring in investors. That was the reason why in between 2012 and 2014, after 2 years we don't take over, before the Ebola, Sierra Leone was made was called the fastest growing economy. We need for face some of them factor. The dates are there, the time are there. You cannot take that credit and give it to anybody. It is him because of these policies. So we have to face reality. We are very deceitful as a country. We don't like truth. We don't politicize everything, and that is bad. Yeah. So for me, what me will always say is, Lord will give credit where it due. Lord will face this head on, and then we solve it as a country. That is our problem currently, economic problem.
Absolutely. I think you make quite a good point there. But if I may just add to that, so the way we party politics in the play is a brain is never picked from the other side. In other words, you can be the most brilliant of economists. You've got all the formula for turn the economy around you in difficult times, but if you not come on at that party day, you cannot be called for can help for solve a problem, which should be
Sure.
for the nation. Do you think
Sure.
then can approach there for change?
A need for change, bro.
Yeah,
Because now we take, for example, the Asian Tigers. Me, an economist, and I then they tell me they play with. The Asian Tigers, there is this leader in Singapore, what they call Lee Kuan Yew. When he came, he realized that in country they go down. Lee Kuan Yew said, you know what? Let us have the best brains in the right positions. So regardless of which corner you come out, as long as you know the best brain, in no time Singapore is what it is today. So the worst part is in because we politics don't become so toxic, you can even be opposition inside your own party. Yeah. Take for example the likes of the John Karimus. These are fine brains. John Karimu could be one of the best brain for tap into. But why? Because they see like I say now anti to Mother Bill. They not bring a kind of Ministry of Finance. They bring Pat Madi, we get a very weak background in that aspect which they go to. So they see the problem. We know the politics don't become so toxic in the country. We don't want to know whether you are the right brain or not. All we want for do is get we own stood them around, we go give chance for lobby thief. And then affect you as a country. So we don't want for a read through. If I not say that Mr. Kuroma are the best person, I will say Mr. Kuroma na the other side day. Because now the other side day, I don't want to know anything about them. I they go against them. Even though it's good for
absolutely,
me and
Mr.
Mr.
Kamara. And if I can just ask you this as well, you know the number one revenue generator for our country in the industrial sector now, iron ore. And
I know, yeah.
yes, so there are challenges right now, just like how there were challenges
Sure.
during the Ebola period where affect the economy. Will you
Yeah.
express any form of sympathy for the current government? That they are
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
inflicted with COVID, or will you just downplay it directly to mismanagement, ineffectiveness, the wrong brains, like you've been
Oh,
saying, and just pure politics?
in situations like this, leadership is key. Under Dr. Kaifala Marah, we had similar problem that we're facing in the mining sector. We get on at the banking sector. We have Salon Commercial Bank, Rokel Commercial Bank. Nobody they do well. They not be they do well, bro. They were almost at a point where in then they go down. Yeah. So because them in there about to go down, a responsible government sit back and say, okay, this damn bank and our government own. The best way to get a bailout. Similar approach can be taken for even for get the mining sector get them booming again. You can even give concession. I mean, reduce some taxes and all of these because you get for look at and say, for example, you take Marampa mines or you take Shandong. There are Sierra Leoneans where they work there, and these are people where they pay tax to government. And if you take the derivative economy, each person where they work under must get at least get 5% where they take care of. So if you allow the economy go bad, then people are within at this mining sector taking the iron ore sector, for example, and then shut down more pressure to the government. So leadership count. What do we expect? The Mines Ministry, the Ministry of Finance, and all others, the NMA, come together and see the problem there and give a bailout if not the problem. If not bailout, not the problem. If not tax concession, give them so that they will continue for day and then keep the economy alive. Because now the mining sector now they will they get the huge chunk of the taxes what they get for own government. So if they themselves they get challenged, we got to look after them.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk to a young economist, Mr. Ibrahim Super Kamara. I'm quite impressed. This is not first time, but definitely we'll bring and come again for go in depth and create some width as well in terms of economic policies, suggestions, proposals, and etc. And today, na the third on a Monday of March 2025, time na misai is 8:42, and this is the TNN podcast. My name is Prince Emil Krumah, and please don't touch that dial as we continue and they come towards the end of this very, very interesting and important program. Ibrahim, it's obvious because of the economic explanation that you've laid waste on this platform for the past almost an hour. It seems like with people then they in deep poverty because if inflation the rise, if government they generate enough revenue, if goods and services are not available, then obviously there is poverty in the country, and also they affect infrastructures such as electricity, energy. Yeah. What do you make of all this, Ibrahim? And what needs to happen?
Yeah. So we can borrow a leaf from
Lee Kuan Yew?
Singapore. Look on you.
Okay.
Let's have the best brains. Let we not become so addicted to politics that we forget the bigger picture. We hold me and you together. Because currently waiting they keep this economy going. Now through remittances. Through remittances what they get from una where they oversee. This is one thing where they keep the economy going. So assuming you guys are not, and then we continue for play politics, we continue for get the wrong brains them now the right positions, things not go on well. Now we all get for suffer. And now I will very boring more. Because at the end of the day, if things longer for me now I will call you. Say now for help out now, you know. So let us move away from this politics of tribe, politics of regionalism, and then all of these. These are nonsense. Nobody are not born with tribe. Nobody no write application say, me na konoman, I want for be konoman, right? Yeah, we all now got in own design, it make us how we day. So for us currently, if you look at on both end, both SLPP, and then you look at APC, the best person right now, we're able for solve this with problem now, Dr. Marah. You're looking at one, the issue of the regionalism, we don't police country and tribalism. Dr. Marah is so unique, God creator in a way, for solve that problem. In being as a president, automatically that is solved. Look at it, look at how connected he is to all the region in the country. Somebody where in people in common at the north, far north in Koinadugu district. But then go born and Akono district at the east. Now they go school, now they get enforced job. When he ready for look for woman, can any other side at the south he go. Now they get in woman. And then Usa is stay right now at the west. So east, west, north, and south, this man can able for in as a president, can able for bridge the problem we begin at this country of regionalism and tribe and all of this. That is one. And make also know say political philosopher then believe say enough fine for a country, a cosmopolitan country like we, where you get larger ethnic groups like the Timnis and then the Mendes, then you get them for rule. If you not Timni that you be president, tell you they don't satisfy you Timni family no more, you family no more of us. The entire country no left with anything. Would I go able for put together the country now somebody from a minority group? People not left for your leaders as well. But Salona is a cosmopolitan place. If you want to keep them together, you need to get somebody from a minority group. And Dr. Marah is that person. Look at how bad the economy is. Yeah? The economy has become so battered in a way that look at the exchange rate. From 750 rate and take them to now 2.5 almost. Yeah? That is a huge problem for us. If you get somebody like this who battle tested, it don't work in international institutions then, it don't get the experience, it don't at real time now When we get challenged with the Ebola, when we get the twin shock, you get the Ebola epidemic where they affect the economy. You also get the price, the dwindling price of iron ore at the time. I mean, this man, he lead that problem. He lead through that problem. The true and true. Nobody no crisis, no pay me. Everybody, everything been going well. So it tells you he is experienced in ensuring that we move with fragile economy from the state where it is to a middle state or to a state where at least we will say is sufficient. So he is the solution. This is the problem
Yeah,
we have,
okay.
and he is the
Let me
solution.
just ask you this quickly, like on the political side of things, because
Yeah.
this sounds very much like a campaign, here for Dr. Marah to some
Oh yeah,
extent.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
there are a couple of parts, there are a couple of
yeah,
moving parts, if you will like.
yeah,
Because yes, we
yeah,
talk about the economy generally, the
yeah,
state of the
yeah,
economy, and with
yeah,
the provide solutions, and they look for people who most necessarily, can fix this problem. My
yeah.
question, Super, just based
Mhm.
on the way you are, putting things
Yeah.
about Dr. Marah.
Mhm.
And I believe what you're saying, because again, it's based on a proven track record.
Sure.
But my question: are you implying that or which capacity is it, as a minister of finance, as a bank governor again, or are you talking about a different position other than those two?
Well, I'm looking at the presidency, the leadership of the country.
Okay.
Why am I saying this? Yeah. Okay, it all work under an escroma, under in directive. He
Mm.
deliver as chief of staff. He deliver as minister of finance. To a larger extent, he able to deliver as governor. We serve there for minimum of 1 year, and then he also deliver again as foreign affairs minister. The man is loaded. He has got all the experience he need. So if he is this experience, who do you want put on down for? Who do you want
Yeah.
let him have before him? From the APC perspective now, oh yes, you have respectable people in the APC, the likes of
Okay.
Dr. Richard
Okay,
and all of them.
Ibrahim.
But
If I
he's
may
more
just,
experienced. Yes,
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
he's more experienced.
the resume
So
is rich. I don't think many
yeah,
people would disagree with you on that. Um, um like I say again, Dr. Marah now officially declared I want, he want vie for. So, but eventually, I know
yeah,
say if he did, and when he ready, people like you, will be a strong proponent, of making him the man, and we're happy for bring you
definitely.
again on that particular
Sure.
basis. But let's stick up for
Sure.
the state of the economy, as we come towards again the end.
Yeah.
Obviously, how do we solve the issue of inflation? Because the reason why I ask you this, I know you don't touch on many different points and potential solutions, is because this has been going on for a while, Ibrahim. And the government not seem for the come into grip with the situation currently, and therefore the economic strangulation, if you like, on the part of the people it just exacerbates. How do you rein in inflation, at least for continue for kill and down? Second part, do you think it's possible under this government? I know it's a difficult question somehow, but do you think this is possible? Because they
So
speak in behalf of the people.
you're talking about inflation, right? How for cutting down?
Correct. Yeah. Okay, we lost Ibrahim briefly, I believe. Yeah. So we lost him briefly. So, Fambulem, we talk about the economy of Sierra Leone, where they in bad shape. We use the terminology hemorrhaging, which is more like bleeding. And when you the hemorrhage, if you not get immediate help, you will eventually go into coma. And then, if you've lost that much blood, there's a possibility that you're finished. I see a few people who I think Ibrahim shared this thing with. Let bring and come by if any one of them. Peter, do you want to contribute? Yeah, not sure whether they want to contribute. Who is this? Hello, Ibrahim. Okay, these are people that we share the link with, and I think then just they provide some. Let's bring Ibrahim back. Hello, you mute.
Yes, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, you need for kill you noise like background. Apparently they play music. So we lost Ibrahim briefly. And I make a bring you come because I know you maybe in a family or a friend and he share the thing with you. But I think Ibrahim is back. This is Ibrahim Bunduka and this is Ibrahim Super Kamara, the man on the stage. Ibrahim, you're back.
Yes, thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
All right. So, you are left at a point where they asked about handling the problems, of course, inflation. Not so. At that
Yeah,
point, we
it was about inflation, whether this government, whether, I mean, there is a solution. Of course, there's a solution,
there is a
but it's
solution.
been like many years and the government not seem for to get into grip with the situation. And you explained partly earlier on in terms of the currency, how it just the week by the day, the exchange rate is kind of telling, and all of this get a downward effect onto the people. So it make cost of
Sure,
living even more difficult
sure.
for the people. So my
So,
question, Ibrahim, is there a solution? And
of
will
course,
this government be able, after this many years, for handle this situation with a few years left of their governance?
thank you very much, Mr. Kuruma. Yes, there is a solution. Now, the solution is the problem is systemic. Just like what you say, very much systemic. Okay, the beginning of the problem starts from we educational institutions. What we get, the institution they know the cater, they know they develop a work, they know they develop uh, a mindset of entrepreneurship. And when you now develop a mindset of entrepreneurship, I mean, we all come not to government. We all not work for government. We all not work for government. That is one way they lead to the problem with this. Because we all know they do business, we need to pay taxes to government, and then that will lead to inflation in a way. Because now when you produce, if you watch at the GDP, we all in Sierra Leone, we value, then they put together, and then quantify what we call the GDP. And when you divide that by the total population, now they give we standard of living. That is why we poor. Yeah, we are not getting employed. We are not getting employment because the employment base is so small. Businesses are not coming. The private sector is not supported with policies, with support financially. Sierra Leoneans are not bankable. That is one. That is one problem that we have. So, for example, you can get a very good business idea. Then you go to the bank, you approach and say, I want loan, I want for going to entrepreneurship. Wake able for help me, I get job, and not look again for government for give me job. I employ few people them, and they pay tax to government and they pay me taxes to they handle me loan with the bank. They happen that way. So the problem is systemic. There are solutions, and the solution is for empower the private sector. But these governments cannot handle that. They not get the capacity for able for do this because they're preoccupied with how they for able for sustain themselves in power rather than looking after the people. That is the problem we're having. So leadership not for be about me. It is about the service way they give to you people. Here in
Yeah,
this country, the leaders, they see themselves as boss, and the
yeah,
people then take them as, as mass. That then call them grassroots. Whereas the job where they get, now the people them now give them. So now the people them are the boss. Now say for happen, but you know they happen so, you know.
yeah,
So that is the
absolutely.
mismatch that will happen, you know.
Yeah, okay, Ibrahim. I think this is my final question or two. Um, um, how confident are you that Dr. Marah will deliver given the opportunity? From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 are the highest.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Marah for
Yes, how
deliver.
confident are you that if Dr. Marah is given the opportunity for turn things around, he will deliver?
The Dr. Marah I know, in a scale of 1 to 10,
1 to 10, 10
9,
being the highest, yeah. 9.
9.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Dr. Marah will be given the opportunity when the time comes? Not should.
Well,
Do you think he will? He will be given the opportunity.
given the current situation, I think say the leadership go gain the opportunity this time round because
Yeah. Okay.
the problem we are facing, the problem we face, we below, we there above that we minute interest of being tribe and region and all of these. It there above that. This is a general problem. If we can't begin sit down and they look at now me tribe, if I be me tribe, if I be me common, no, not the work so. Let us go in for somebody waiting for solve this problem. That is all we ask for the party for. And then this now for we all. as a country. We all
So
get problem.
my final question, Ibrahim, go be, we talk about both fiscal and monetary, but some of it we talk about in passing, but largely now when Ibn Day at the helm of finance. But I know you mentioned Professor Kalon, who was once the head of the bank. I mean, tried as he did, even the part even say bribe people and etc. Poor policies and no
Yes.
practical skill, just a professor
Not
in the
practical.
classroom. So it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So if we juxtapose that with the short-term way Dr. Marah spent at the helm of the governor, as governor of the bank, what would you say were his achievement, or if you can name one achievement during that period?
Well, one, it be able for revitalize the stock exchange. We've been on die out the cherry takeover. That is one. It been on die out completely. We can resuscitate them. That is one achievement. Two, there was this dream of having the presence of the central bank in all regions. Then get a place na McKinney. It can be resuscitate them. Today, nothing no they happen. So within the short time where a day na ministry, na central bank, able for control the exchange rate. That is
Yeah.
an achievement in a way.
Yeah, that's quite an achievement. It's quite an achievement. I will agree with you. And last word, Ibrahim. You want to wrap up the program? Very beautiful program. First time. Very impressed. Yeah. You want to wrap up the program with your final word?
Sure. I want first and foremost tell you plenty thank you for giving me this opportunity for lending me voice towards this discourse of who will succeed President Julius Maada Bio. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And also, I want for use this as an opportunity for talk to the leadership of the APC. Most of the guys that way they run the APC, some man not get reach 5 year and again. If how can I so we they go? But between me and you, some man not get reach 5 year again. How can I so we they go? Let we learn for think now for the country, for we picking them and for we future. Enough of tribe. They help you go anywhere. So me they ask them for then give me Dr. Marah this time around so that we'll be able for face we own future. We take with destiny in our hand and fix this country. Not much, but then able for doing. Now that's something I go say. Thank you very much, Mr. Kroma.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So in just a closing remark, we country Sierra Leone, it has a very advantageous geography, supposed to where we located, and we get advantage with boku minerals, them bauxite, gold, diamond, rutile, and you name it in abundance. And I'm saying this just for add to this program because the man being spoken of at length tonight is a man that I know personally. I have been privileged to sit in his company, both with others and privately. And sometimes the way you can do in your private moment, where the act, you are not scripted because most times politicians can be scripted and prepare script for them for read or a day before the public, he want to tell the public. No, I've been in moments with him in which he says what he thinks on the inside. And what he says on the inside or how he thinks on the inside is progress for Sierra Leone. He means it. I've heard him. We go to watch TV and then go show a part of Europe, some fine, nice road or infrastructure, building, hospital, or what have you. He will say, I wonder why we can't get this na salon. Of course we can. And they say this from a perspective of being there. He's occupied 3 key positions in the country. Positions of no. So in no waiting day. And that make he also say, he's on the record and privately saying, every Sierra Leonean not supposed to be poor. And we know the reason why. Because if we are endowed with all these mineral resources, and this is Dr. Marah speaking, I'm paraphrasing him. If we are endowed with all the mineral resources, why should Sierra Leoneans, be poor? We are not poor. It's about policies. And policies are a mastercraft, not a masterpiece. I mean, we'll get much more for say about the man. Campaign has not yet opened. But when the campaign open, we shall be hearing and hosting many people. And when it's so declared, we shall see what will happen. Mohammed Super Kamara, you are super indeed. I want to say thank you very much. First time, but not the last. Thank you so much. And hopefully we will catch up again soon. So, Fambulen, this is it. We've come to the end of a very critical program. I know say people they want for let continue, but we've said this much, and there are many other times where we'll get for talk again. Thank you so much for watching. And pretty soon we will be live again, in which they can talk about electoral justice has too much capital, political capital, being spent on this, this talk here, political electoral justice. Is it time to cut the chase? It's coming soon. Don't forget, on the TNN media platform. Everybody, until we'll catch up again, good night.